I'm in the woods by a stream, and any such place in springtime that's near enough to walk to is my playground. The length of this video is either going to be very short, or who knows. You know, of course, because it's finished, it's done, but starting here, filming first by picking up some woodsorrel for eating purposes, very near to a fossil of some plant material, probably leaves or bark from the Carboniferous era, when all this was a wet and humid forest with a few similarities to how it is today, just up the beach from a brick, and at the water's edge, more fossil plant parts. And I really don't know at this point how long the video might turn out to be. Sadly, these rocks are a bit bigger than I really wanted to take today, and I'm not really here for fossils. I'm not even really here for the wild garlic. Though of course, I'm going to pick quite a bit. Wild garlic keeps well either frozen for future cooking, or in the fridge in a pesto which elevates any meal it's a part of. I'm not here for the scenery, which of course is quite lovely to be in. I'm here for the potential that I spotted on a recent walk, a hint that somewhere up on the valley rim, at the top of a cascade of little drops and waterfalls behind me, there might have once been a small old village dump site. The potential I saw from across the river was this aqua blue bottle, which, let's see, says Goodall, Black House and Co., which means that this bottle once upon a time probably contained Yorkshire relish, a very popular condiment, and I left it because I don't really want a broken relish bottle. Ooh, didn't really see this on my walk. I think that's going to be worth extracting, but first, a heel plate from a shoe. Quite a narrow heel plate, so maybe off a woman's shoe. Interesting certainly, but again not something I want. Over here, another heel plate, and this time it's off a proper hobnail boot. Looks to be roughly a size 9. One of those square-bodied, round-topped bottles, probably a vintage milk bottle according to what I've been told in comments. Today I might take this, since I know there's no buildings very near to this stream, and nowhere on it that people can bathe as they do in the pools in the upper reaches of some of the larger streams hereabouts. It just comes out of a field on the hilltop, flows under a track onto a patch of ground at the top of the slope, which I'm hoping might just possibly have some vintage trash treasures to find. A likely disinfectant bottle, ridges denoting the poisonous nature of the contents. Screw top, probably 1940s to 60s. A few bits of terracotta pottery, quite possibly part of a partial plant pot in the other path of the stream. Let's do an extraction. Oh wow, I really didn't expect that to be intact. It's not one I'm familiar with. I mean, I've seen the shape, usually broken, haven't found an intact one myself before, and I don't know what it held. Doesn't look like an ink bottle, a cream bottle, perhaps a drink bottle, but can anyone tell me for sure? I have 2 bottles in my bag, let's see about a third. Well, it's a bit beat up, but it's intact, and if ever there was one that I could practice repolishing the outer surface of, it's probably this. And now we climb. I'm not expecting to be able to climb up alongside the whole thing. I mean, I could, just not holding a camera at the same time, and I'd get soaking wet and filthy, so it's a more genteel zigzag up the hill today. Okay. That's not what I was expecting to see. A drawer with a lock. So I'm guessing the most likely place it came from is a safe. Is there anything hiding beneath the sand and gravel? Gold, perhaps? Doesn't look like it. No regular shapes, no sparkles, nothing but stones and decaying organic matter. I will check through both what I've tipped out and what remains inside to be sure. But if it was dumped with contents, they're probably somewhere down or upstream. I like the drawer, and I'm taking it. So, I am near the top, and I have clambered up alongside this little stream for the last 15 feet of ascent in a most undignified manner, stung by nettles, narrowly avoiding putting my face into a patch of giant hogweed, and I have found nothing more man-made. It certainly doesn't look like any significant dumping happened on this side of a trackway, which is just up there, a few inches above the pipe channeling the stream. I guess it's just about possible that under this thicket of thorns there is a small dump site, but I seriously doubt it. I will check up the hill on the other side of the track too, but it's looking increasingly likely that a few isolated things were dumped here once upon a time. Such is the reality of a lot of explorations. Find a promising site, and then find that the promise evaporates. Oh well. At this point, I haven't completely ruled out the possibility of a dump site on the other side of the track, up the hill in the field, and that's why I'm not yet showing the trackway. It would be instantly recognisable to anyone who's walked these hills and valleys, but not even a small sherd of pottery or shard of vintage glass to be seen. And looking down from the top, the promise remains absent. So at this point I can keep on walking up a narrow stream bed for 20 to 30 metres before it disappears underground. Actually, emerges from underground. It's a spring and water flows downward into a field which has no obvious mound of buried bottles, and the nearest building of any kind is 4.5 fields to the right. I might not have found a bottle dump, and I might be filming in April, but I have had the pleasure of getting to watch some hares playing in that field, and I've accidentally stumbled upon the biggest patch of woodsorrel that I've ever found. So much that if I picked at my usual rate, taking maybe 5 stalks and a flower per square foot of land, I would pick enough to give myself and my girlfriend upset stomachs if we ate it all in one go, so I shall try to practice moderation. This patch goes at least as far as to where the path disappears. So since I'm pretty sure that there isn't a bottle dump here, and I've pretty much exhausted the filming and mudlarking possibilities, I don't mind sharing that down there is the weir from 1800, and just up the valley a little way is the 300 to 400 year old pack horse bridge, possibly older, and that's where I turned around in my walk video of a few weeks ago. I deliberately edited out the bit in the rock hopping part of the video where I found the bottles at the bottom of the stream, because I wanted to check out the potential of the site properly before anyone saw it in a video and came here to grab all the nice bottles, which we now know aren't actually here. I hope you've enjoyed this odd little deviation from my usual format. I just really wanted to show a bit of the legwork and some of the disappointments that go into finding good filming locations. Sometimes it's no work. I just locate an entrance point into a river and walk until I find something. But sometimes I research and follow up little leads, and bit by bit fill in a mental map with places to fossil hunt, forage, find things and film. If you have liked this video, please give it a like, a comment, a share, donate, buy or ignore, whatever you're comfortable with and enthusiastic to do. Thank you all very much for watching, and for now, goodbye.